test for the company Upland. First, we will go through all the backend requirements. We have well-structured APIs, integrated KYC, and AML authentication, a clean database schema, blockchain integration, well-written smart contracts, and proper monitoring and logging. Secondly, we have a complete document that shows how I structured the backend, why I chose Rust, why I selected Redis and PostgreSQL as the two databases, and why I use a hexagonal architecture. Everything is explained in that document. You also have the interface. We won't focus too much on it at first, but you have MetaMask and the testing account I created specifically for this purpose. We will now go into the terminal. Here, you will see the terminal running the back end, the terminal running the front end, and I remind you that I rewrote the front end in HTML and CSS to easily test the back end, since the goal of this video is to test and build a clean back end. You also have the terminal running the blockchain and the terminal running the full database. Now we will go directly into the code. Here, I use Rust with a hexagonal architecture. In particular, I use the Actix framework, Actix Web, which has been my specialty for about 2 years. Why did I use a hexagonal architecture? Because I realized from the test that the platform supports multiple blockchains. This allows modularity, being able to switch blockchains, add new databases, integrate AI models for better product handling, or add more products as the platform evolves. Hexagonal architecture allows us to easily add or remove technologies without impacting the entire backend stack. I wrote a smart contract in Solidity, which is the language of Ethereum. I used the Foundry blockchain toolkit, and with it, I achieved full integration with the backend. As I mentioned earlier, I used a front end in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It's not the main focus, but I want to emphasize that the backend is complete. It implements all the requirements mentioned earlier and is well structured and error-free. Now let's look at the code. Here you have the cargo.toml file, which shows all the Rust dependencies I use to build the backend, including login, database, and everything else. We'll now go directly to the platform to run some tests. Here on the platform, I will first log out and then log back in using my MetaMask account. You'll notice that I connect using my MetaMask account. Okay, the connection was successful. It requires me to use my admin account. Okay, connection successful. We are now on the dashboard page. You can see that I have already acquired a property called Marshall, which I created myself and which costs 100,000 ETH. Let's go to the home page. There are not many operations there, just 2 properties that I added myself. Same for the browser page. We'll go directly to the admin page. I'll first show you the KYC. Here's the KYC. I integrated it in development mode. Why dev mode? Because in production, KYC takes 2 to 3 days, which would prevent me from quickly testing and running the backend. So KYC is properly integrated, but it just needs a real API key to function normally. For now, in dev mode, it automatically passes all tests since this is only a test environment. Now, let's go to the admin section. Here, we will try to create a property. We'll take an image URL and create a property. We click Add a Property, paste the image URL, and enter the house name. Francisco, San Francisco. For the description, we write Good House. Here we put Douala. We can set random prices or set them to 0 so the property can be easily purchased by anyone. I'll set all prices to 0. Okay, the property is now available. It appears successfully. The San Francisco property is displayed. I can edit it by adding prices. Everything works fine. I could delete the property, but since there are not many properties, I prefer not to use the delete operation. Now you can see there are 3 houses, 1 account, and 0 ETH. Let's go through the process of buying a property. I click to buy a property. You immediately see that my MetaMask account opens to verify whether I have enough tokens. You can see that my MetaMask balance is negative $4, which means I have already used funds to buy properties before. The backend is verifying this for authentication. I won't continue the process further, but you can see that everything works correctly and that I have already exhausted my free credits. I would need 1,000 times 100 USDC, which I don't have, so I cancel the process. So the platform works correctly. The blockchain is properly integrated with both the backend and front end. If we run tests in the terminal, you can see everything works properly. Here, I also forgot to mention this terminal where I test API keys and block hashes of my application. Thank you for this presentation.